Chris, can the Lakers turn it around and win the West? We're going all in.
Well, the key word that you just used, Jen, is can. And, yeah, can they? Sure. And I don't mean in a never say never, anything can happen kind of way. I mean, they have a decent chance. I really believe that. I know people are looking at the 11-11 record. Well, first of all, that's about what was expected, especially if LeBron has sat out half the games, which he has. Because remember, his first year in Miami with Wade and Bosh, they started poorly. They were 9-8. Then his first year in Cleveland with Kyrie, second stint in Cleveland with Kyrie and Kevin Love, started 9-7, a little bit above 500 before they got rolling. So I didn't expect them to come right out of the gate playing great together. And again, with LeBron out, you would expect them to lose a lot of the games that he's out. They're only a half game out of the fourth seed in the West, which obviously would give them home court advantage in the first round. So they're capable. But you guys remember in the preseason, if you asked me the Lakers or the field in the West, I would go with the field. Well, there's some teams that have emerged in that field that I don't think any of us saw coming. One of them, Phoenix, you could say we saw them coming. I don't think we thought they'd be this good, but they're legit. They're better than the Lakers. But the real team, to me, the best team, not only in the West, but in the league, is Golden State. And I didn't see this type of season coming from them. And remember, they don't even have Klay Thompson back or James Wiseman, who I think is going to help them at the rim. So I think Golden State is the best team in the West. Obviously, they play Phoenix tonight. But with the Lakers, here's the problems. One, the pieces don't fit. We all know that. But two, defense. All right, their defense has been their calling card the last few years. When they won the championship, and then last year, they've always been in the top three. This year, they're 19th in defensive rating, and I don't think it's for lack of effort. I think they're trying, but they're too old and they're too slow. And these teams that have younger players, even teams that aren't that good, are just getting open looks and running by them, and the Lakers can't keep anybody in front of them. And then LeBron is obviously still able to put up great numbers, but he doesn't dominate the games like he used to. Even when he has big numbers, yeah, Indiana occasionally. But he doesn't control the game like he used to. And that's age. Part of it is him shooting too many threes. He's shooting 8.5 threes a game. That's 11th in the league, all right? LeBron is streaky from three. We saw against Indiana, right? He got hot. He started dancing. But on average, he's not a very good three-point shooter. He's okay. He's good, I guess. But he's shooting too many threes, settling for it, and that obviously is age. And watching them that last game against Detroit, and you guys know it got hairy in the fourth quarter. There was a 2-minute stretch in the fourth where they just put up a bunch of threes. Avery Bradley and LeBron, and they're not Talen Horton-Tucker. They're not that great of three-point shooters to settle for threes at times the way they do. And Anthony Davis, we've seen the stats. His jump shot isn't falling. His three-point shot isn't falling. I want to see him try to dominate the paint, but he's not really doing that enough for my liking. So, sure, they can, and I think they'll make a little noise before it's all over. But I don't think they're the best team in the West, and I think they're behind Golden State and Phoenix.
Go ahead.
Well, you can go.
No, you go. Go ahead.
Really?
I know you got some stuff that you've been waiting for this moment anyway.
Well, I don't want to pile on, but since you have given up on your Lakers completely, I want Chris Broussard to know that Shannon Sharpe is officially out.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
He can't even go second on this show anymore because he has given up on his Lakers. We want that out there publicly.
You see how you put it?
And we want LeBron to hear it. We want Maverick to hear it. We want Rich to hear it. And Randy to hear it.
I did not give up.
Yes, you did. You've given completely up. To Chris's points, number one, they were number one in defense last year. They are now 16th in the league in defensive efficiency. It just won't get it done. Unless you right that wrong, you're going to be an also-ran in the West at best. And it starts and finishes with the king, with the face of the franchise, with still the best player on this team. LeBron James is now rated 279th. He ranks 279th in defensive win shares. Last year, for much of the year, he was in the top 5 to 10. Well, that's horrendously bad because he's the tone setter on defense. And I've seen little dribs and drabs where he'll get down in the chair and try to guard somebody late. But it's not enough. So he's not setting the tone on defense. And then to amplify Chris's point, on offense, over the last 3 games, LeBron James has shot more three-point shots than in any 3-game stretch of his entire career. We're in year 19, and he just put up 34 three-point attempts over the last 3 games. He made 11 of the 34. That's 32%. It's just not good enough. High volume, low make. And, Chris, you gave him, you say he's a good three-point shooter. I'm trying to be nice. He's below average at best.
He's decent.
You can't even go decent because he has the rare hot streak. See Indiana, especially in overtime. But it's rare at best. And then when the smoke clears, you look at it, he's a career 34.5% three-point shooter. It's just not good enough. That is well below average, and I'm being nice about that. He is hurting his team because of all those wasted tear-your-heart-out possessions where he clanks and he LeBricks and he clanks and LeBricks. And you just say, God, we just wasted another possession. You got to attack. You got to draw the defense. You got to get to the free throw line. He's now on a career low pace of free throw shooting.
Going to make 4 tonight, 4 or 5 of them tonight.
Okay, 4 what, threes?
4 threes, 4 or 5 threes on 9 attempts tonight.
Okay, well, I would much rather see 10 out of 12 free throws than you got something going.
They don't be calling free throws on them, so we're not taking that beating.
Okay.
But you know what? I guess I'll make it 3 for 3. I can't see them right now, Chris, winning because Golden State and the Suns are so much better, not of just the Lakers, of everybody in the NBA. And that's what you're going to have to go through. You're probably going to have to beat both of those, Chris, to just to make it out of the West. And they're going to get Clay back.
Yep.
And like Chris, you guys were saying, defensively, is because they can't guard off the dribble. When the help comes, they get wide open. The teams get wide open kicks. So we say, well, they can't guard the 3. They can if somebody can stay in front of their guy with the ball. Well, no one can really stay in front of the guy with the ball because, Chris, you're asking guys that's really never been asked to defend. Even in their 20s, they weren't asked to defend. Now you're asking them to defend in their 30s, which is virtually impossible. Melo has never been a defender.
No.
Malik Monk, Wayne Ellington, these guys have never been defenders.
And don't forget Russ.
And Russ, we know he's not defending.
Yep.
So with that being said, you can't ask guys to get in their 30s and all of a sudden find a new role, which is on the defensive end. Now, the guys, we can find roles for guys on offense. You notice, Chris, a guy that can score the basket, he can come off the bench. Carmelo, he was a starter, great starter, come off the bench. He can still find ways to get buckets.
Yep.
But if you're not a defender, you're not finna sit in that chair. You're not finna play defense in your 30s when you didn't play that way in your 20s. It's just not happening because defense is about desire. It's about wanting to. Who really wants to be known as a defender? Nobody. So with that being said, when you don't defend, and another thing, Chris, how is this team, as big as they are, out-rebounded on a regular basis? I think they've only won 3 rebounding battles out of 22 games. With AD, with DJ, with LeBron, with Dwight Howard, with Russ, and you lose the rebounding battle to very small teams. I don't know if that's a recipe for championship. No rebounding, no defense. No. I'm sorry, but we're going to have to make it a 3 for 3.
Yeah, and Shannon, I don't understand why Frank Vogel still insists on playing big with DeAndre Jordan at center. AD needs to play center, and he needs to get over whatever this is telling him he doesn't want to be a center. He needs to get over it because you're not banging like back, 20 years ago by playing center.
Yeah.
You're still going to, you're right, you're going to be in the perimeter.
And you ain't banging
The reason they're
Shaq.
getting out rebounded, no. And DeAndre obviously doesn't have much energy, okay? But beyond that, the team's shooting so many threes now there's long rebounds.
Right.
So a lot of times having size underneath the rebounds are out on the perimeter. Steph Curry's averaging 7 rebounds a game because a lot of the rebounds now are on the perimeter.
That's why you play
small. And then furthermore, with the defense, guys, with the defense, now you have to guard out on the court. So when Melo was in his prime, even LeBron in his prime, you know, the game was a little closer to the basket. Mm-hmm. So every possession, you weren't out 19, 23 feet away from the rim having to get down and stop guys from getting in front of you. You were a little closer to the basket. You could relax a little bit. You didn't have to cover as much ground. Shoot, these dudes, man, these old guys ain't trying to get out there and guard hard for 48 minutes when you got to do it on the perimeter by the three-point line.
I'll close this up with a prediction. If this team continues to teeter through Christmas, they have Brooklyn at home on Christmas.
Day, yeah.
If Brooklyn comes here and wins that game, and let's say they teeter into the new year at 500, right around 500,
you predicted
Frankie V will be gone. Watch, because they'll say, we got to change the mood, the feel. We just got to mix it up. And he's the easiest target to say, it's his fault, let's change him. Yeah. You can't change. They're not going to get rid of Russell Westbrook.
Win the championship, struggle against these bad teams, Chris.
Yep.
They struggle. They can't beat 4 and 10 teams. And no.
All right, Chris.
We're going to beat Brooklyn on Christmas.
I don't know about that.
I know about that.
Still got a couple
Kyrie may have something to say about that.
Struggles.
Yeah, exactly.
Before that one.
Kyrie.
Chris, thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.